So let's complete the square notes. First, we're starting off with a quadratic review. Up at the top here, they're telling us to factor these three trinomials. You should still remember how to do this. If you don't, though, that's what I'm here for, support. This first one is x squared plus 4x plus 4. Now, and Vincent can attest to this, there's a method I show y'all called box method when I'm factoring, but there's no need to do it on these because all these factors will be perfect squares. So they're going to be easy factors. There's no need to go into no heavy factoring with this. I'm going to just show you how to factor one if you don't remember, and then we'll go from there. So it's x squared plus 4x plus 4. Whenever I'm factoring, the first question I ask myself is, what two things are going to multiply together and give me this first term right here? X and x, right? So in my parentheses, I'm going to put an x and an x starting out. Let's see, are you with me? You ain't going to be here long. You with me? Then at the end, the next question I ask myself is, what two numbers are going to multiply together and give me positive 4 at the end? 2 and 2. Only other thing you need to check is your middle. So 2 and 2 will give you positive 4. You got to make sure that 2x and 2x are going to add together and give you positive 4x right here, which they will. So in this case, my factors will be x plus 2 plus x plus 2, times x plus 2. And then I want to rewrite that in factored form, which will be x plus 2 squared. Why don't you try the next one? I'm listening. No. I'm doing it wrong. What you got?
I don't know if it's right, but wouldn't the 5 feet outside of the, like, you know,
X minus 5.
Thank you, bro. X minus 5. X minus 5. Jesus Christ. At the end here, at the end you're going to get 25, so you know that's got to be 5 times 5, but the trouble is in the middle you got negative 10. Since it's negative 10, you have to have negatives for your 5s. Negative 5 times negative 5 will still give you positive 25 on the end. Just in the middle here, since this is negative, your sign should be minus sign in between. Oh boy. Y'all about to make this hard, ain't you? Go ahead, Omano. I'm recording, Reese. Thank you. Alright, that's factoring review. Let's go down here and do some completing the square. So, completing the square. And before I even talk about that, let me go back and show you why we need to be able to do this factoring part and why we're about to do this. Like I said, we're changing our equation from this general form equation on this on our circle notes from the other day to make it look like a center radius equation. If you look at it, we went from this form that looks similar to this form here, general form, to a factored form that looks more similar to our form of our center radius form of equation. Tomorrow we're gonna do it for x and y. All we're focusing on today is just getting y'all to be able to complete the square for x value. But tomorrow we're gonna do it for x and y, and then we're gonna finish writing the center radius form equation. I just want to make sure you can complete the square today successfully. Then tomorrow we'll move on to the next step. Alright. So to complete the square, you need the equation in the form of ax squared plus bx equals c, and a to be a 1. So you want that coefficient in front of your x term to be a 1. And it will be for us on all of these. But you just need to make sure your equation is in this form before you start. And so the steps for completing the square out here to the side here. All you gotta do is follow these steps and you can't lose. You try not to follow these steps, then it's when you're gonna lose. That's why I told Vincent earlier he better show all his work. His work should include all these steps. If it don't, today I'm marking his junk wrong. Alright, what is the factor form of this equation? X squared minus 4x plus 2 equals 0. So before we can do that, we need to rewrite it so it looks like this in this form. And to do that, only thing I got to do on this equation is move this 2. How would I move this 2? Thank you. Subtract it on this side, cancel, move it to the other side. So I'm going to rewrite it so it looks like x squared minus 4x equals negative 2. Now it looks how we have it over here. Once I get it in that form, now I'm going to take my next step. The next step tells me to find b over 2 squared. B is this term right here in my equation in front of that x value. So for me, my b would be negative 4. So over here, down here, I'm going to write b equals negative 4 just so I know. And then I'm parentheses, I'm doing what they're showing me to do over here. Negative 4 over 2 squared. Negative 4 divided by 2 is going to give you negative 2. You need to square that. And then get positive 4. Once you square it and get positive 4, we're going to underline this number here. I want you to do this too. I expect to see this on your paper. We're going to use this number again. We're just holding it right now. Now this is the completing the square part. It says complete the square by adding b over 2 squared to each side of your equation. So whatever we got from b over 2 squared, that's what we're going to add to each side of our original our equation that we manipulated. This one right here. So I'm going back to this equation right here. I'm going to say x squared minus 4x, and then I'm going to add 4 to that side of the equation, plus 4. That's the 4 that I found when I did b over 2 squared. Equals, and then on the other side, negative 2 plus the 4 again. That 4, I just did what they told me to do. I added it to each side of the equation. This is you completing the square right here. All you're doing is finding an additional term so you can be able to factor. So let me show you. The next line, I'm about to clean it up now. X squared minus 4x plus 4 equals, and then on this side, negative 2 plus 4 leaves you with positive 2. So now at this point, I have a trinomial that I can factor right here. So I can factor this. And that's what we just did up top. We're going to give 1 a chance at redemption. 1 factor the part that I underlined. No. X minus 2. X minus 2. You said X plus 2, man.
I said x minus 2 after.
All I heard was X plus 2 first. Either way, you say X plus 2, and that's not what we want. So X plus minus 2, X minus 2, and then equals 2. Bring down that 2 that you had on the other side. And then the last thing you need to do after you factor is rewrite it in factor form. X minus 2 squared equals 2. This is us completing the square so we can factor. And this is what I would need y'all to be capable of doing today. Let's keep it moving. Do another one on the back. Steps are still out here to the left. First thing we need to do is rewrite this, Reese. What you gonna do?
Alright, I'm gonna add one on both sides. Alright, and the square up. Let's 6 here.
What?
Oh, when?
What one?
Right up. People gonna-
From there, what's my B, Reese?
6.
6. So B equals 6. Parentheses here, 6 divided by 2 squared. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 3 squared. Get 9. 9 is the number that I'm going to add to both sides of that equation that I just manipulated. So x squared plus 6x plus 9 equals 1 plus 9. Then from there we write x squared plus 6x plus 9 equals 10. Trinomial here. One more time. Thank you, sir. X plus 3 equals 10. We write it in factored form. X plus 3 squared equals 10. I tried to leave them alone with number 3, but that was a mistake last period. Y'all wasn't ready yet. Number 3, the steps are not there. You can fill the steps in for yourself. Same thing though. Provide a factor form of this equation. And it says write the steps. So write your steps out to the side as you go. But first thing we need to do is rewrite to where ax squared plus bx equals c. I'm going to get you halfway there so you can finish. Somebody help me manipulate this equation. Yeah, I would do what he said, add 6x first. Cancel it over here, rewrite x squared plus 6x plus 9 equals 1. Is that cool? Thank you. Still step people in the cat the other class wasn't taking. You should subtract 9 after that. Cancels. Then you're going to get x squared plus 6x equals what? Negative 8. That's the form you wanted in right there. Once you get that, Reese, what's B? 6 again. B equals 6. So now you're going to find B over 2 squared. You should be writing your stuff out to the side. Find your B over 2 squared. So 6 divided by 2, honestly, is the same as up top there. 3 squared, 9. And then from there, y'all should be able to finish it off. Don't make me do the whole thing.
Yeah. Oh, bro, I did get the good, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you did. Clutch.
I was gonna fuck that one shit. Ain't nobody know.
So what? Somebody else not to go inside to go. Oh, the boy Jakar. He don't care no way. You can do that on your own.
I said it was a grade. Oh, no, I took it right here. Yes, I already got it. Okay, baby.
Alright. That last part I ain't putting on video. Y'all should be good. We should be able to finish it off.